Hi guys, today's video is all going to be about how we can flatten our lead wrist at the top of the backswing and keep it that way in the downswing. It's going to help so many things. So a flat lead wrist ultimately just matches that lead arm here. What we don't want to see too much of, a killer move that we often see with the amateur game, is when golfers get that cupped position. The official term would be the lead wrist is an extension. We see this angle here of the wrist. Why don't we want to see that? Ultimately opens the club face. So an open club at the top of the golf swing would look like the toe was hanging straight down. We would like to see the club face at the same angle as our lead arm at the top of the golf swing here. So around 30 to 40 degrees. We don't want to see the club face pointing too much up to the sky, but that would be more of a closed position. And there tends to be a few better players that way. We don't see many elite golfers with the club face open. If the club face stays open in the downswing, the toe again starts to look like it's pointing up, or actually the club face up even worse, and the golfer really needs to react a lot through impact here. So I'm going to share with you an amazing drill, amazing exercise to help you flatten that lead wrist. So the drill that I want you to do is actually go cack-handed for a minute. So that just means putting your lead hand, your glove hand, at the bottom and making some practice swings here. And it will really get you that sensation of that flatter lead wrist here. Now when I flatten that lead wrist, you'll actually start to see the club parts points a little bit more behind me. That makes it so much easier on the downswing to keep the club slightly behind my hands. So if you're someone who is swinging out to in, too steep, the majority of golfers who fade and slice the ball this way, again, this is a key motion for you. If the club is slightly behind your hands at the top, is it easier to keep it behind the hands? In my opinion, absolutely. There are some elite golfers who get the club in front of them, but they change their position in the downswing. That's a very hard motion to make when you're trying to add so much speed, and that motion, that movement is over so quickly. So I love just making some practice swings and getting golfers to make practice swings with their hands the wrong way round. So they've got their lead hand at the bottom here and really feeling like it's flat. And I want that same movement in the downswing. So as I come down to just pre-impact, can you start to see how that club face matches my back angle? That's a square club face. A lot of golfers think it's there. Well, that would be true if I was playing baseball and I was standing bolt upright. But because we are in golf posture, that's the angle we're looking for, that club face starting to point a little bit down. And it means that we need a less manipulation through impact. It's a lot easier to square the club face more often. Why do we want that? Just more consistent shots. Just easier to hit the ball down your target line. Less manipulation needed at impact. So if we can get that feel, flatten that lead wrist, that's going to help me square the club face. I can just add rotation. I'm not suggesting there isn't hands in the golf swing. There absolutely is. The wrist is moving from flexion to extension. The wrists are down cocking. They're a huge part of the golf swing. I'm just saying if we can take out the urge to have to roll the wrists and the forearms through impact excessively, we're not having to rely on timing and tempo as much. Now, how am I going to put that into a golf swing? The feel for me personally, and I want you to do the drills and then almost ask yourself, what was the sensation? What was I feeling there in the golf swing? For me, it would be that my fingertips are staying behind my wrist. So I'm getting to the top of the golf swing, and I love golfers doing this. Just trying to keep their fingertips behind their wrist, coming into impact. The fingertips will catch up and pass the hands, but it's happening nearer impact. It's not happening here early in the downswing. So I love that sensation. So it can be good. I'm going to do one where I pause at the top. Get those fingertips behind the wrist. And what you'll see is that club shaft shallows. It drops this way. What do most majority of amateurs do? They steepen the club shaft. So let's get to the top, that's shallow, then that's hit. And I'm just focusing on the fingertips behind the wrist. So a draw shape that started right at target, fell onto target there, really happy with it. Now it's only a slight move, But if you're someone who's struggling with a steep over the top motion, you've heard about shallowing it and you're really struggling, start with a split hand grip. Then get that feeling, and it may be that you're the same as me and you like sensing the fingertips. It might be that you're sensing the club drop as you start the downswing, so it's more of a drop of the club head before we add in rotation. Ask yourself, what's the heaviest part of this golf club? And I don't care whether I've got an iron or a driver here. It's here, right? So if this is the top of my backswing, where does the club want to go? It doesn't want to go this way. When it goes this way, it's you applying too much force downward to the handle. So allowing that club to feel like it falls before you add in rotation could absolutely be the sensation you want. I'm just going to go with a full one here, getting that same feel. Fingertips behind the wrist and hit. I need more of this in my golf swing. Exactly the same outcome. Just got that feeling of waiting for it a little bit, shallowing the club in the downswing. Now I need more of this in my golf swing, so you may look at this and go, well, it's still a little steep. Absolutely, I need more of it. I'm preaching and I need more myself, but that doesn't mean it wouldn't work in your golf swing and isn't something you shouldn't be striving for. If that video does help, smash the like button and don't forget to subscribe.